Hi everyone, it's Amanda. I am recording this on the Sunday, the full moon in Pisces day. I wasn't going to because I was wanting to sign off, but it struck me that years ago, when I was a young girl, I used to keep diaries. I've got about, crikey, 20 or 30 years of diaries. And I stopped them actually when I got married and had children, probably because I didn't have the time to devote to them anymore. But for me, this video is a way to help me work out some things that are going on in my mind and to put down in some form, not on paper anymore, but on video, my awakening moments, because there's been a lot of lessons and learning over the last, well actually it's since Lionsgate in particular. It really is. It's since the Lionsgate of the 8th of August. There has been a relentless stream of challenges, tests, initiations is what it feels like. And I'm still standing, as are you. So if these thoughts help you, great. If they don't, and they don't resonate, just switch off. I need to talk about the challenges because, and I have alluded to them before, this is all spiritual learning. And I do so with thinking, but can I? And that's a topic for itself, because there's this thing within the spiritual community which is, don't give any attention to the naysayers, don't give any attention to those that try to pull you down. I was watching a great video this morning from a couple of guys actually, who I've just subscribed to on YouTube. Sorry, I can't remember their name because I'm recording on my phone, so I can't even look them up. And they were just perfect examples of the divine masculine, and they were a lot younger than me, and they were talking a lot of sense, and they were talking about staying in alignment, which we all know that's the goal, to stay in alignment with our highest truth and to not be knocked off by that, and some simple but yet very effective techniques which we've all heard, but do we do, in terms of recentering yourself 3 times a day, to check in with regard to, is this my stuff or is this somebody else's? Even when we know it's somebody else's stuff, you can get pulled in to it. And then you're out of alignment with your truth, with your heart. So this practice of just 3 times a day, spending a couple of moments just tuning back into your heart, nobody else's heart, your heart. Your heart, which is the key. There's the key there to your soul, to the truth of who you are, your essence. And ultimately, we all know our own essence. Well, actually, we forget our own essence. That's the whole point of tuning back in. But it's an exercise to get back into that. And I was thinking, yep, all well and good, fantastic. And I was thinking, well, how the hell am I going to do that? Because I know this. We all know this. Do we do it? No, because life takes over. And so then bring in some technology that could help you. And I've been thinking for a while of getting a one of these Fitbit watches. I've had one before actually, but I want one which is more lifestyle orientated. So it's going to beep at 3 times a day to remind me to do this. And so that's good. Which brings me on to my next point. As soon as I've said that, as an example, out there on YouTube, on social media, I know there will be comments that come in about, oh no, don't get a Fitbit watch, they're not good for you. Radiation, electromagnetic waves, all of that. I've sort of made my own decision on that. Sometimes the benefits outweigh the weaknesses of anything, whether it's technology. So there's a lot I want to say, and I just want it to come out the right way. So bear with me, guys. We should all be open to criticism. We should all be open to constructive criticism. There's a difference, of course. Which is why I don't always believe, just totally ignore those that are criticising, because sometimes there's a grain of truth in what they're saying. Sometimes there's a big grain of truth. But even if there isn't any truth in what they're saying, there's always something to learn from it. And one thing that came up on my Facebook page over the last couple of days, some of you will have seen this, posted something on Doreen Virtue. Hadn't appreciated quite how controversial she was. The post was far more about trying to make the point, but trying to articulate or answer back to a video that she's put out about, is it New Age or Christian? And it's quite derogatory to those of us that maybe have different beliefs to a very strict Christian upbringing and way of looking at the world. And that's really the purpose of it. It was to stand up more for, I hate the word New Age, but it's the only way I can express it to you, the New Age movement. That's what it was about. It wasn't really about Doreen. Doreen was the vehicle through which this discussion had arisen. But there were a couple of people that came onto my page and kept putting links up, slamming Doreen Virtue. And I deleted them. And each time I deleted them, they would put them back up. And I thought, actually, it's really disrespectful, this. It's really disrespectful. I've politely said, please don't, and you're keeping on doing it. And I knew what they wanted me to do, which is they wanted me ultimately to ban them so they could slag me off, basically, and say, oh, you know, Amanda's this person who's always banning people, deleting things. I do delete things, actually, because it's my page, it's my space, and it's my boundaries. And I don't want my space used by other people to willfully continue to put other people down. That's not 5D. But anyway, got a lot of flack from that, from a couple of people. And then this one person who I ended up having to ban because she just wouldn't stop posting the links. The last comment she said was, oh, well, you were talking about the throat chakra and how important it is that we express ourselves. And now you're trying to close me down. And I thought, I didn't even respond to it, but I thought, hold on a minute. The 5D throat chakra. I wish I had my bottles here to show you, because you can see it in colour terms. The shift that has to happen from 3D throat to 5D throat. The 3D throat chakra is the one that wants to blame, that wants to lash out, that wants to hurt, the one that ultimately is in a lot of pain. The 5D throat chakra still can have the person who holds it, who has that throat chakra, they can still be in pain, but they are learning to moderate, balance, think before they speak, and also speak with love. And this is a huge subject for social media in particular. I'll probably put this up on YouTube and Facebook whenever I do, whether it's today or tomorrow. Can you speak with love? How many times have you gone on to anybody's channel, anybody's page, and you see vitriolic comments or offensive comments or rude comments? And it's unnecessary, it's uncalled for. It always shows the vibration of the person who's making the comments. I put a video up yesterday on my, I had a sundress on, and horror of horrors, my breasts were slightly on show because it was a low cut dress, it was a hot day. First comment was about great tits. Really? Women have them, get used to it. Why should I cover myself up? Which comes to my next point. really interesting, because one thing that was striking me over the last week or two in particular, started with the Madeline McCann stuff, now we've got the Doreen Virtue stuff. It's all died down, but it was all lessons, and I found it interesting, very interesting, was that I had this feeling within me that I am a mother, of course, I am a mother. And so are probably many of you that watch me. And I'm used to being a mother for my girls. Sometimes I try and mother myself, not very successfully, I have to say. But the mothering energy, Mother Mary, was coming through. In the midst of all of this criticism and me trying to stick up for myself, but equally not get drawn back into the argument, trying to not get out of alignment, not getting pulled into their stuff, sometimes being pulled into their stuff, but then trying to bring myself back. All lessons, all learning. And I felt Mary's gentle presence. And I said to her, at one point, I said, it feels like I'm marshalling a playground. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm marshalling a playground. I don't like this. And then her gentle energy just kept coming through, saying it's okay. This is what a parent does. And we've got old souls and we've got young souls and we've got souls that are it's okay to say, actually, we've got souls that are a little bit more wise and a bit more learned because they are older. And then we've got these other souls out there who are a little bit immature. Whether it's the comment about nice tits, or whether it's the comment about dragging you down to whatever controversial subject you want to talk about. I've almost got to the point, and I'm going to go away to Canada, I'm going to do my work, but I've also got some spiritual quality time for myself. I'm going to reset. I'm going to go to the powwow, and I've got a meeting actually with some of the elders, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm going to seek guidance on this, because my mission has always been, Metatron has always asked me to go in there and talk about stuff that other people won't look at. But I'm getting a bit sick of the flack, and I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking, I don't know whether I want to do this anymore. Not be a spiritual teacher anymore, because that's my contract, and that's something that is non-negotiable, and it's something that I enjoy doing and I will continue to do. But it's like, how do you even start to talk about things that need to be talked about without people being triggered, without people going down to lowest common denominator, without people throwing the mud? And then we come back to Mary, Mother Mary, Christ. These very steady masculine and feminine energies, and I want to say parental energies. That will challenge some people who don't think that Christ had children. But they feel parental to me. They've always felt parental to me. And just as I'm thinking of making this video to you and feeling Mary's energy so strongly, just saying it's okay, just be the, thank you, she's saying be the grown up. This book comes through my door. I'd forgotten I even had ordered it, and it arrives on full moon in Pisces today. It's Anna, Grandmother of Jesus by Claire Hartsong, A Message of Wisdom and Love. Let me just read to you what it says. Some of you will know this book. Apparently it sold 50,000 copies through word of mouth alone. I think somebody did recommend it to me. Anna is the mother of the Virgin Mary and the grandmother of Jesus. Her teachings and service birthed a spiritual lineage that changed the world. In this book, you'll discover missing pieces of history concerning Anna, Mary, and Jesus, as channeled by Claire Hartsong. So we're going back another generation. We're going back pre-Mary, pre-Jesus. We're going back to the grandmother. We're going back to the ancestors. It landing today, just as I'm wanting to talk about this whole subject feels perfect for me, because it's like they're here saying it's okay, we can do this. And I'm saying we can do this because I know there are an awful lot of spiritual teachers, healers, therapists, other YouTubers that watch me. And I am not alone in these attacks that have been coming to me recently. I see it on other people's pages, and a lot of people are talking about spiritual warfare, the dark versus the light, that whole battle. Are we maybe near to some form of breakthrough? Which is why those of us that are called to be of service are being so severely challenged and threatened. And it's really easy to watch somebody like me and basically say, oh, you should just let it go. Just let it go. You know, it's your stuff to heal. Of course it's my stuff to heal. And yes, it's a blessing. And I completely get that in so many ways. Going back to the two guys I was watching this morning, in fact, they were talking about this. They were saying, if you can, thank the tests that are coming through right now, because they're really uncomfortable. They're really big. A lot of us are getting very attacked. And it's because we are being literally put through our paces, because we are being asked to lead. We are one of the first waves of those that are carrying this ascension light. The first wave. And if we're one of the first waves, we need to get it right, guys. We need to look at when we're triggered, look at how we react to that trigger, look at whether we can stay in alignment or we can't stay in alignment. No judgment. You know, if you fail or you fall short of your own standards and you get back into sort of a slanging match with somebody, give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. And then pull yourself back up and start again the next day. Recenter into your heart. Realign. Sink into the masters that are here for us right now to help us. I've really felt Christ in particular, and Mary. Do you know, I could almost cry because I just feel their energy coming through. They are just so present for those of us that are out there doing this work on the front line. And they know how difficult it is. And Christ in particular, that energy, who was attacked, who was mocked, who was belittled, who had a crown of thorns put on his head when actually he was magnificent. One of the most magnificent human beings ever to have walked this earth, who fully embodied the Christ energy. And look what they did to him. And what did he do? He forgave them. He forgave them. He sank into compassion. And it's just so beautiful. And I think that's why I want to cry. It's so beautiful that he did that. And he showed the way. He showed the way for other people. He showed the way for people like you and people like me. And I don't think we can do it alone, actually, this stuff. I know I can't. I can only do it with the help of Christ. With Mary, with Metatron, with the archangels, with all this amazing help that's out there for us. Let's just recenter for a moment, guys. Because the one thing I've really learned the last month is that the dark is real. But so too is the light. Let's just recenter. Sink into our heart. My leg's going dead. Bring in the energy of Christ. Bring in the energy of Mary. Bring in your own higher self. bring in your light. Realign. All is well. It's pouring with rain. The contrast between yesterday when I sat on my balcony in that beautiful blue sky, today it's pouring. But we're going to make the most of it. We're going off to the pub. The good old English pub. One of the best things about England is its pubs. UK actually, not just England, the whole of the UK. The pubs are fantastic. Love it. Good old English pub meal today will sort me out good and proper. Yeah, let me just go back to what I was saying about the darkness is real. I've really been having to face that. But I work with Metatron. It's part of the journey. I've never wobbled from the belief that the light is stronger than the dark. But I've certainly been shown that the dark has strength. Even last night, I'm looking for a candle, but I don't think I've got one up here. Doesn't matter. We can be our own light. Even last night, you know, there were messages coming in. I'm getting constant messages about the Madeleine McCann video that I've put up. Being warned, well-meaning warnings from people, mediums and people who are serving spirit, people who are part of our community, who have love for me and care for me. And saying, please be careful. You know, some of what you're getting, what you're in, what you are channeling through is putting you in danger. And it's a bit frightening. Went to bed last night and I thought, should I just take that video down? I might take it down. Not because I don't believe in what came through and what was said. I stand by it 100%. Comes back to what I was just saying. I don't know if I want the flack. No, it's not the flack. I don't see why I should put myself in danger. So this is what I'm working through. I said to you, this is like a confessional. Funny I say the word confessional. The Pope is in Ireland right now. It's pouring with rain. He's in a place called Knock. I have never heard of Knock. Apparently it's a place where people go for pilgrimage to seek spiritual sustenance. So I use the word confessional as though it's something to be guilty of. It's not. Are we feeling guilty for standing in our light? Are we feeling guilty for standing up and saying what we believe to be true? No. But the dark doesn't like it. You know, the dark wants to threaten us, pull us down. If that video ever disappears, it will be because I'm putting my family's welfare first. That will be the reason. I'm telling you that now. It won't be because I'm weak. That will be the reason. But anyway, I really don't want to start the whole Madeleine McCann thing off again. Okay, thank you so much for everyone that's watched it, and thank you for the people that have joined my channel since watching it. But I want to move on from that. I really do. Do I want to move on from controversy, though, is what Metatron is saying. And that's what I'm wrestling with, guys. That is what I'm wrestling with. I mentioned I wanted to look at America in a card reading soon. And it's pretty obvious that really should be looking at Trump. But it's almost as though we can't look at these subjects which bring up a lot of hate in some people, to be perfectly honest. I don't know how to do it. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know how to do it without the hate. And hate lowers vibration. Lowers vibration of people who watch stuff, who look at it. Lowers the vibration of the person who's writing it. But then again, we're back to Christ. Look what he had to suffer. Not comparing myself to Christ, by the way, before anyone says that. He's just the ultimate role model. Look at what they did to him. That's why I was so affected by it. Look what they did to him. Look what they did to people that try to hold the light. It's all coming back round, guys. Is this because we are close to some sort of, for want of a better word, event, disclosure, breakthrough? The moon's on the bottom of the pack. Look at the way the sea is surging in that card. Can you see that? Surging. The sea is angry there. It's not calm, it's not peaceful. It doesn't look calm and peaceful out of my window. Don't know if you can hear the wind coming through the window. Look here, 11. We're in an 11 year. I guess this was always going to happen. We were always going to have this battle with the light and the dark in the year 11. Of course, on the top of the pack, for God's sake. The sun is on the top of the pack. Light and dark, day and night. But I also want to say the sun is a masculine energy, the moon is a feminine energy. The child on the swing, not giving a damn. Maybe we need to get a bit more into that. Maybe we need to care a little bit less. Not about the big things, about what other people think. Are they worried about what anyone else is thinking of them? No. But this is the nub, guys. It's so easy to say, let it go, let it go, let it go. We are empaths. Those of us that are doing this work are empaths. By nature, we're like little sponges that soak up everything, which is where we come back to daily practice to keep ourselves well. Realignment. I think realignment is so important. Shall I read a page from this book, which has just turned up? Let's just see. I'm hearing page 76. Who knows? Let's open it on page 76. It's talking about labour. It's talking about Ruth. It's the second time I've heard the word Ruth this morning, and it's only about 10 o'clock. On YouTube this morning, one of those suggested videos pops up, and it's about Ruth. I didn't watch it. I'll have to go back and watch it. And within my womb, I felt the warmth kindled by this beloved one's soul. Just shut that window. A bit noisy. Already she had come into our embrace to be loved and cherished. We remembered she announced her name was Ruth. And like Ruth of old, she would tarry with us through our days until the Son of Man was returned to earth. And so Ruth grew, swelling my belly with her earthen body. Judith took time from her duties in the library to assist me during the last days before Ruth's delivery. There were 3 women, including Judith, who gathered the linens, water, oils, herbs, and fresh birthing pallet. When my labour began in earnest, they took me from my garden bench, where I loved to rest and meditate, and in my chamber cell they laid me upon the pallet filled with fresh grasses. Joachim was fetched from the fields where he had taken his turn with the sheep. Running, he came to our door as the contractions caused sweat to break out upon my face. He waited outside, though, from time to time, and I saw his shining face smiling through our small window. His eyes were wet with compassionate tears, and his face shone with wonder at that which was upon us. This was his first child, though he knew in truth that she was of the light, and he but an instrument to conduct her soul to earth. It goes on to talk about, it's about birth. The page that I've opened it on is about birth. That moment just before birth. Maybe that's what is happening. I tell you what, that moment before birth, before the arrival of something so amazing, you would do anything to just stop it. I had a water birth with Sophie, and the moment before she was born, obviously I didn't have any pain relief apart from the water. I remember thinking, shoot me now. I just thought, put an end to it. Shoot me now. It was totally rational, of course it was. But I truly felt it. It was like, I cannot take this any longer. I cannot take this. Sort of a bit how I'm feeling. And then within, what did I call a video a few months ago, or less than a few months ago, a few weeks ago? It was something like, everything can change in a, what was it? What did I call it? Everything can change in an instant was what I'm trying to basically say. So from like, shoot me now, I cannot take any more of this pain, this difficulty, this challenge, you hear the roar of your child, and it's like, oh my God, I'll do it all again. And I'll do it again, and I'll do it again, and give me more pain, because the birth of this is so beautiful, and so beautiful, it was worth all of it. I think that's where we're at, guys. Anyway, I'm hoping my ramblings have made sense to somebody out there. I think I will put this up on YouTube. And again, back to the thing about Mary as the mother. I think she wants to come through and teach us and remind us how to be spiritually mature adults that can converse, that can interact, that can be in each other's company, have difference of opinion, and yet still get on without descending to the playground mentality. I think that's what it's all about. So it's quite beautiful, and it's all probably part of what I'm having to do to birth the Mother Mary energy. I'm talking about in spray form. You know, I do my sprays. I've actually had a Mother Mary spray that Tracy has created in terms of the oil content to it, sitting on my desk for about the last 2 months. And I haven't had time to birth it further, you know, because it's not just about the essential oils that go into a spray. It's about the energy. You know, the spray has to hold the energy of what it is trying to teach. So it's all perfect. It's like a big thank you to anybody that has criticised, a big thank you to anybody that has tried to belittle. It's all about the learning. I truly mean that. And another thing that's coming through now here, Metatron's here, he's also saying it's about toughening up. If you're still with me, you're still watching, whether you are a teacher, a therapist, a healer, or whether you're anybody else, because we're all equal. We're all light workers doing it in different ways. I think a lot of us have to toughen up a bit. But Metatron's great at teaching tough love. And it's always fair. It's always full of integrity and based on love, but it's tough love. I think we've had to toughen up a bit since Lionsgate. We're into a bigger energetic arena. I mean, I'm a blinking Cancerian, so, you know, I'm soft as marshmallow, really, inside. But the shells come back around me, and that's good. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, something else you were wanting to say there, Metatron. What was it? Can you just go back? About tough love. Toughening up. Oops, camera just flipped. What were you wanting to just say? Safety in numbers, he's talking about. The more of us that stand up for this, the more of us that hold these high intentions, the better. Yeah, that was another thing that was thrown at me. I'm going to tell you this because I've learnt from it all. It's interesting. During this ridiculous tirade about adoring virtue, At one point, somebody was flinging at me like, oh, you're just walking away from the argument and holding the moral high ground. Because I basically said, I don't want the arguments on my page. I've said what I've said. I don't want to see the links. That's it. If you're going to keep doing it, you're going to get banned. I'm going to delete them. You know, oh, you know, can't we judge people, all the rest of it? And I said, no, you know, in 5D, it's not about not judging. It's about what Christ said. Those who are without sin, throw the first stone. She said, picking up a smoky quartz. We've all got sin. We all judge all the time. It's part of the human condition, but it's, again, the Mary and Christ energy would say, before you throw the stone, look within yourself, okay? Look within yourself at your own stuff. Clean up your own backyard. But the whole thing, I found it quite funny about holding, you know, you're holding the moral high ground. I thought, hold on a minute. Aren't we supposed to be on an ascension path? It's not about holding the moral high ground. It's about trying to have a higher perspective. Oh gosh, guys, I can't tell you. It's been a tough month, August, and I know I'm not the only one. So we're going to go into September, a fresh month, and we're going to see what lies in September. I personally think the last quarter of this year, there's a lot of changes going to be coming in. And I suspect all of these tests, lessons, challenges, all the rest of it, in August in particular, since Lionsgate, they're leading us up to particularly the 1111 gateway, maybe before that, where I'm hearing we get the prize. We'll see what that is, won't we? Anything else to say? Let's just pull one more card. Where's my cards gone? Here we are. What pack am I using? I'm using the Fountain Tarot. I like this deck. Also have a bit more fun. Do you know one video I'd quite like to do when I get back? I'd like to do my top 10 of tarot decks. My top 10 oracle decks. Of course, it's a little bit premature because my deck isn't out yet. And of course it would be in there. You have to believe in your own stuff. But no, I would like to do that because it just feels like we all need a bit of light relief. Ooh, what's that one? The Wheel of Fortune. That was flicking out. And the Ten of Cups is on the bottom of the deck. What's that one? The Knight of Coins. Oh, and the Chariot. I don't know. I'm pulling them out like that. The Chariot... Yeah, we're all moving forward, even if we feel we're not, we are. We've got no choice, actually. We're moving forward. Are you moving forward into the light, or are you moving backwards into the dark? Knight of Coins. Draw a card on that. I'm not sure what that one's about yet. Wheel of Fortune. Fate's moving you on. With the Chariot. Ten of Cups. That's nice. That's the prize. Ten of Cups is, you know, it's love, it's all the good things in life. It's contentment, happiness, health, all of that. And look at the way you have to climb every step to get it. You can't miss out a step is what Metatron's saying. None of us can. What's the Knight of Coins? Why is he there? Let's see. Let's just draw another card for him. The Four of Wands, to me, this is a card of teamwork. Four of Wands, four people working together. For me, it feels this is a card of work, okay? Money, working, effort, working together. I think I've never felt so strongly that as a community, light worker community, we need to be pulling together. We need to be setting our standards high. We need to be putting our boundaries around ourselves. We need to be okay at basically saying, this is what I stand for. These are my standards. And if you don't like that, that's fine. You don't have to be within my circle. Move on by. You know, how many millions of people are there in the world? An awful lot. Billions, probably. So I'm glad you're in my tribe. And I thank you very much for all of your love and support. Please don't worry about me. I know I've had a few tears in this video. I am okay. Remember, I said to you, for me, this is a bit like doing a diary. And if my diary helps you, and my thoughts help you, and my moments of clarity that I get from time to time help you, fantastic. You all help me greatly as well. Much love, everyone. Bye-bye for now.